everybody, welcome to McFarland Minutes, our weekly podcast hosted by Natalie McFarland, me, and founder and president of McFarland Productions, and Scout Foster, our outreach marketing manager. In these episodes, you can expect deleted scenes, in-depth campaign reviews, project highlights, marketing concepts, book reviews, and a deep dive into the creative process at Off Your Rocker Films, and of course, invaluable lessons on mentorship, leadership, and the business of it all. We are so excited to be releasing our episodes every Sunday as your soft launch to Monday. Hey everybody, welcome to McFarland Minutes, your soft launch to Monday. This week, Scout and I are talking about holiday campaigns, which hopefully you've already started thinking about these. Thanksgiving content should be well on its way. I'm concerned for you if you don't have Christmas plans, but what we're going to talk about today is just some of the strategies that we've used, maybe some that you could implement quickly, and just some general ideas, some holiday uniqueness so you can break out of the it's Black Friday fold a little bit. But Scout, you have notes, you tell me,
I do.
on this one.
I was scrolling LinkedIn yesterday, and you know how like LinkedIn will give you the notification, like relevant articles sometimes are not relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I saw in the notification it was about holiday shoppers. I'm like, I should read this.
Convenient.
Yeah, because we're recording our holiday campaigns podcast at this time. I was reading tomorrow. So I scrolled through it. Obviously, they were trying to sell me something, but I didn't buy. But I did take notes down on the stats. I'll read them to you, and then we can kind of like unpack those.
Sure.
Found some things really interesting. Okay, number one, Gen Z shoppers are cutting their holiday spend by 23% year over year. I think all of these stats will be year over year compared
To
Christmas shopping.
Sure.
Yeah. Gen Z likes to spend on experiences, so things like concerts and vacations. Food and dining was also in the list, but it was a little bit lower on their list. Concerts and vacation were like the top examples. Millennials will be spending 14% more year over year. I'm kind of thinking this one is like kids and family.
Probably.
Are you a millennial?
Yeah, I am a millennial. I would bet that most of that is like my generation has like now elementary school kids
Right.
for the relatively. So maybe it's like bigger toys than you would have maybe last year.
Also, if you are not watching like at your desk, or maybe there are young kids around, possibly this might not be the podcast to watch with young kids. Some of our campaigns we might talk about.
Yeah.
Just fair warning.
Yeah, fair warning. Some of these campaigns are for the kids,
So just
oh yes, and we don't
later.
want to spoil anything for them.
Yeah.
So maybe put your earbuds in or something.
Right. Yes. Okay. One more. Overall, U.S. consumers say they are cutting spending by 5%. So even though millennials are spending 14% more, Gen Z is going 23% less. There was some talk on boomers, and I don't know what's the generation between millennial and boomers? Generation Y or something, or is that after X?
Gen X, maybe?
TBD. Natalie's looking it up.
Yeah.
Sorry, we unprepared on our generation talk.
Apparently anything above millennials is millennials is also known as Gen Y apparently, so Gen X, and then looks like boomers right above that, then silent, then greatest generation.
What's silent?
That's actually my dad's generation.
Okay.
So they would be like they're 80s-ish. So
Okay.
My mom's not included. She's whatever that boomer generation, but my dad makes it into the silent generation. So
okay, that makes sense. Anyways, thought that maybe we could talk about the spending percentages as it correlates to like marketing and how maybe you can use that to your advantage.
For sure.
Also, maybe things you should just be prepared of in your
like millennials, I might be
why?
focusing more on like like essential, maybe
Mm-hmm.
less ultra luxury type stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think millennials have this trend towards a lot of more natural products and things like that too. So like, I think that there might be a lot of gifting in that region, and also a lot of those products tend to be a little bit lower price point per item. I know my husband and I are certainly spending a little bit less this year than we typically do. But we, a few years back, actually stopped shopping for literally the whole family. So it used to be if you showed up
Everyone.
at Christmas, you got a gift from everyone, kind of thing.
Like Oprah.
We've narrowed that down because I was like, I'm spending too much on
Yeah.
holiday. So we've narrowed that down. But Gen Z, like, I don't know, maybe it's just that age. What do you think?
Maybe it's just the what?
Maybe it's just that age, that
Okay,
time
I,
in your
I actually
life.
think so. I think it's time in your life. Like I think technically I'm right on the cusp of Gen Z and millennial. Like apparently 97 is the cutoff for millennial and
I'm
the
right in the
start.
middle of the millennials.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I feel like people really dog millennials, but there's not,
You know
it
what though?
doesn't need to be
Like
that
I
way.
feel like our generation really sucked when we like turned 18,
When,
right? Like
yeah,
when we turned 18, like our whole situation sucked. But I turned 18 in 2008. I started college in 2008,
great economy.
2 months after the major crash.
Yeah,
When I
that's
tell
fun.
you I didn't have a college fund anymore, like
Yeah.
I think it literally cut into a third of what it was, like literally the year prior. So like millennials have kind of gotten shafted from like that perspective, like millennial was
Hmm.
also like the youngest portion of the generation that went to war in Afghanistan, right? So like
Hmm.
Desert Storm and all of that's very much my generation. 2008 happened, we've had 2020 right as like a full-on adult, a lot of the Gen Zers were
Those are
like on
really
the cusp.
survivors.
Yeah, so anyway, we've
Hugh
really, there's
Rebus.
a reason millennials drink more than any other generation.
Okay, so holiday campaigns maybe include some alcohol for the millennials.
Yeah, Gen Z definitely not, but
Um,
Gen Z is a lot chiller than this.
I think Gen Z though is pretty cool that they're spending money on experiences.
Yeah.
I also love experiential marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we talk a lot about in our client marketing, like less about the product, more about where the product goes or the
The
feeling behind the
relationship,
product.
the
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So I think that maybe that can be incorporated into holiday campaigns. Even if your campaigns are already planned, I think that those are like slight adjustments that
Sure.
can be made for the campaigns. Um,
I think this is like a great point for like brands going to the NFR, right? Like, how can
mhm.
you turn your brand at the NFR into an experience? And we've been doing a lot of actually work with some friends of ours who own
Right.
Editorial Edge, Carly and Andrea. They've been on the podcast previously, but we collaborated on that NFR worksheet. Maybe we link it again here, or we can link to the landing page for that
Hmm.
NFR prep guide that we put together. But I think NFR is certainly a big part of this, but I kind of want to stay off NFR for this episode for the most part because I really want to focus on holiday. Hard to separate in the Western world because NFR happens so much in the middle of all of it. But I think that can be an entirely different strategy session. And in fact, I would just love to have a company jump on the podcast and us like run a live strategy for them. I think that
Hmm.
would be super fun
Maybe we should do that.
for NFR. But anyway, if you're interested in that, maybe we can rope you into that idea. But I do think that, like, from a holiday perspective, how can you create an experience for your following? I think it's a really big thing. I do think millennials are starting to play more into those experiences. Gen Z is certainly very strong on them, right? The
Hmm.
millennials are going to be more like travel experiences.
Hmm.
Gen Z is going to be like everyday sort of experiences. Not to
Hmm.
say they're not traveling, but just a little bit different focus, I think.
Well, I think Gen Z is probably still traveling to meet up with like family to
Yeah.
spend Christmas at like their parents' house or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the oldie in Gen Z and like the youngin in like millennial generation. Like I don't really fit in either bucket. I float back and forth. Um, but I don't know. Like I think Gen Z they were talking about vacations in the article that I read, and we can like, I don't know, maybe they're planning on spending their Christmas budget on a family vacation, or maybe it's just a vacation for the two of them. I don't know. My sister is engaged. She's getting married in the summer, and I was like, hey, I want to plan a trip. I'm not going to say it on here because I don't know if Lane listens to every single podcast, but Lane's birthday is in November, and then so I wanted to do like
This
trip
podcast will
in
come up before that.
right. So I'm like trip in November, and then like like airline like flights in November, and then like add-ons for Christmas in December. So I can't really go into much detail. I don't know where we're going or if we are going, but I think that
Lane,
would
turn
be
off the podcast.
right. Another disclaimer.
This one's just going to come with a bunch
No.
of disclaimers, you know.
Yeah, sorry. Only listen if. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, I think that is cool. Like if you can incorporate travel or like people traveling to your location in your marketing or your holiday marketing campaigns, that could be cool. Like if you have like a storefront or maybe your service or, like storefront service. I'm trying to think of like better,
I
like
feel
real
like you
time.
could like partner with some of the experiences too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like there's lots of Christmas or holiday markets, craft markets, that sort of thing around the US. There's lots of
Mm-hmm.
holiday type activities. So that doesn't just have to be Christmas. That could be,
Right.
Thanksgiving, or maybe it's Halloween. I think this comes out just prior to Halloween. So maybe it's Halloween, but one that comes to mind in Oregon, they call it the Polar Express for obvious reasons, but it's a train ride up Mount Hood, which is one of in my opinion, the best ski resort we have in Oregon. It goes up Mount Hood, and they have like sort of a reenactment of the movie, sort of. So they've got kind of like, there's food and hot cocoa, and there's like singing and dancing. It's a very kid oriented kind of thing. I'd be lying if I said I don't desperately want to go on
I
this.
kind of
So
want
I'm
to
going to
go.
like borrow some friends and their
It's
kids as an excuse. But
rent a kid.
yeah, can I do that? Um, but yeah, I think like that, if you could find a way, I don't know, maybe you're a food brand, or I don't know, maybe you're a clothing brand, right? Could you, as a youth apparel brand, provide outerwear for kids that are going on this train, right? And maybe it's a whole family experience, sort of a UGC sort of situation where the kids are wearing the clothing and mom or dad or whoever are getting clips of the kids' experience through this Polar Express train. Of course, do all your backgrounds on can I do that? Make sure Polar Express is good with it. Like, make sure you're doing all your backgrounds on that. But that could be an idea. The other one that kind of comes to mind in the Pacific Northwest is Leavenworth, Washington. And this is one I
I keep
also
getting food
haven't been
talks about
on.
that.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, and it's like
I want to
on
go.
the bucket list to stay a few days near Christmas. But Leavenworth is basically like a German town, right? So the buildings are very, very like classic German Dutch sort of style, right? So in Germany is very well known for Christmas markets, and like the really cool mugs that are like decorated with Christmas scenes and things like that. Leavenworth is basically that. So it's the German Christmas fair brought to the US. So it's in Washington. It's kind of near a ski resort, so they certainly get some snow, and it's like the Hallmark version of a Christmas fair.
Love Hallmark.
So, how could you, as a brand, take advantage of something like that, right? Where maybe you're providing a trip, right? Maybe you're doing a giveaway for a trip. Maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you're Yeti, right? And you're going to send people to Leavenworth, Washington, and you're sending them with some Yeti gear, and maybe you've teamed up with, I don't know, Pendleton Woolen Mills, and or Schaefer Outfitter for that matter, right? And you provide some apparel and you provide maybe gift certificates and like maybe you partner with a hotel up there. But how can you turn your holiday marketing into an experience, right?
It's
Um,
actually, sorry,
Go ahead.
keep going. I was going to say, I think that really also lines up with all of these influencer brand trips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
you could do
that
it with
has,
influencers instead.
I mean, you can do it with like, you could do giveaways for actual, um, not the influencers aren't actual people, but like maybe actual customers of
Yeah,
yours. Not
regular
to say that,
customers, non-paid
yeah,
customers. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think that would, I am sold almost just by like the TikToks that I've seen on Leavenworth. I want to
Mm-hmm.
go.
It's so beautiful. It's
I
10 out of 10
I
recommend.
I will be a free model.
Any brand out there who would like us to
Any
go to
brand
Leavenworth, we're
will
your
go.
gals.
We also can um, operate camera equipment decently, I would say.
I know a guy,
We have some friends. We will
others.
storyboard. Yep. Yeah. Ugh, I love that. Anyways.
Yeah, but like I agree with you. Like, how can you take stuff, right? Which is what most companies that we talk to out there, not not to exclude the service-based people or like dining and
Hmm.
hospitality and that sort of thing, but how can you play as a product off of what the service industry or the hospitality industry is able to do? Like, how can you also make it an experience?
I think you need to look at what your audience is spending and what they are looking for, like what are they putting
Sure.
under the tree this year, you know what I mean? And if it is not your product, figure out how the experience is going to include your product.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, even in like your general marketing, right? Like make your marketing an experience. So instead of saying like, I don't know, I'm really on the skiing theme at
Hmm.
the moment, but like maybe you're a ski company or you're a goggles company for skiing or whatever it is, right? Rather than being like, here's a product, it's really great because if it's goggles, it doesn't fog up as easily when you're out skiing and it's cold outside and all those things, right? Instead, why don't we show like unwrapping it and then travel to the ski resort. Maybe it's like unwrapping it and there's also lift tickets in there, right? And you show the travel to a ski resort and then getting on the gondola or however they're getting up to the main ski resort and like some of the skiing itself, and then like who doesn't end the day with a cup of hot cocoa in the lodge? If you don't, we should never ski together.
That's
Or at
actually,
least
oh
like
my,
a beer at the bottom. Lake Tahoe's really good about putting like bars periodically throughout their like ski
what?
resort.
That's
Oh, it's so
fun.
much fun. It's the coolest.
Oh,
And so they're like breweries, like out on the mountain. They're beautiful. Anyway,
that's,
if you don't end
I'll
your
make it
day
fun.
at the lodge with a beer or a hot cocoa, so like remind me of those times going, right? Remind me of the time that I thought to myself, maybe I'm too tired for one more run. And I was like, one more run. And then that one was a scorpion, right? Like put me back there
Yeah.
nostalgically, whatever that is. Maybe it's, maybe you're cookware and it's making grandma's famous
Yeah.
pot roast or something in the kitchen, right? Just like how can you bring a person back to a memory that becomes a virtual experience in a way,
Yeah.
and really what it's all about, right? Like, sure, we're buying cookware, sure, we're buying skis, sure, we're buying whatever the thing is, right? But what is it like? Why do people like those products? What is it that they're doing with them to like those products?
I feel like nostalgia is like one of the best feelings that sells,
Yes.
especially in the millennial generation. I'm gonna stick with our generation theme. I feel like I see that like that's huge in the millennial generation. It's probably just because
I
you're
think
like,
it's
take me back
homesteading.
to a
Like,
simpler time.
yeah, please let me homestead. Like,
Yeah,
if I don't have to look at my phone all day or at a screen, we're winning, right? So
I'm
how do we
still
do
trying to
both?
figure that out.
Yeah, that's going to be a little hard in our line of work.
Well, that's what I said. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how I can live off grid, no technology, no screens, and still work in marketing.
Yeah,
I'll
struggle.
let you know when I figure it out.
Maybe
But no, I
cloning. I
think,
think cloning's going to be the answer.
it could be. I feel like that would need technology for that though.
Yeah, minorly.
Yeah, just
Okay, so
something to consider.
back to our theme. Let's
Yeah.
let's do this, Scout. Let's come up with a company, right? Some company that makes something. And maybe let's come up with like 3 ways we could include experiences in their marketing. I know we've kind of been through a few examples, but I think maybe it'd be fun to kind of do that. Okay, so let's pick a Western brand just to stay on theme here, or an outdoor brand, up to you. What are they making, Scout?
It's gonna really throw us a hard one and be like, let's do like something crazy. But now let me reel it back in some. I don't know. You put me on the spot now. I can't think of a single Western
There's
company.
no products. Products just disappeared. No one makes anything.
No, we have nothing. Um, I kind of like the Pendleton wool.
Okay, yeah.
That was a good.
We
I
don't.
don't know.
Okay, disclaimer: we don't currently work with Pendleton Woolen Mills, but I'm a huge Pendleton Woolen Mills fan. Beautiful products, great. I mean, I love anything Pendleton. So,
It's giving cozy, and I
it's
love
given
cozy.
cozy. Okay, so let's do Pendleton blankets. Let's be specific.
Okay, let's do that. Okay.
Okay, so let's make this a Christmas campaign, right? But the
Mhm.
campaign is going to come out, just prior to Thanksgiving so that we can pick up some of that Black Friday traffic everybody loves. Um, let's start. Well, let's talk about a wraparound campaign, right? So let's do some video, let's do some social, let's do some email, and let's do some web, and try to see if we can make an experience out of a Pendleton blanket.
I'm immediately picturing um couple in the mountains with a fire in there, not fire in the mountains, but like a fire.
Yeah, fireplace in a cabin in the mountains.
Yes. Immediately seeing that. I think that we do need to. Do they have kids? Or are we going
Mm,
for like young,
let's go
like
young. Let's go
honeymoon?
young couple. Let's go like maybe like first Christmas together. How's that?
So sweet.
So sweet.
I love that.
There's
Tears in
needs
my eyes.
Christmas ornament for sure. We're first Christmas together.
I think we need like, okay, do you know like the old, this is kind of off topic, but Pendleton, if you're into it, feel free to use it. You might already have it. I don't know. Also, I'm only ever going to refer to anything as Pendleton, so I'm going to need you
Yeah,
to
we're talking
figure
Woolen
out if I
Mills
mean
in
Roundup,
this
um,
example.
whiskey, like, you know what I'm saying? Um,
Cattleberries.
literally.
The
I'm
town.
only ever going to say Pendleton, so you guys are going to have to
Keep up.
context clues, figure it out. Yeah. Anyways, do you know when I like the little mini sweaters like on a hanger that are like
Yes.
Christmas tree ornaments?
Yeah, I
I
feel like
see.
I feel like Stormy Cromer does it with their little hats. Don't they do it? I
Yes.
think they
Oh,
do.
that would have been a good one to pick
Yeah,
too.
I love a good Stormy Cromer. In fact, I'm gonna have to dig that out pretty soon.
You're gonna need that soon. Anyways, I'm seeing that as in like first Christmas, like weaved into it, like
Mm-hmm.
crocheted into it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it may be in the blanket print
Have it
is something I'm
embroidered?
seeing.
Maybe it's an embroidery
Yeah,
situation.
this is what I'm seeing. You could even include if it's like this could be like an Airbnb campaign too. Like you can partner
Mm-hmm.
with an Airbnb to
Yeah. Have you seen
like
those reels on social media that are like this, and it's like this and no cell phones for a week,
yes.
like you,
Yeah.
me, and no cell phones for a week or something, or no service for a week or something like that.
Hmm.
And it's like it's usually some beautiful cabin. Half the time it's snowing or raining outside, right? But there's
Hmm.
like a bathtub full with bubbles, and there's like candles everywhere, and there's like cozy coffee and a little cozy living room and like the fireplace is going and like all the things, right? Like there's an
Mhm.
experience, or it'll be like the French Riviera or like south of France or something, right? And you're like
Mhm.
on the balconies and things like that. It's beautiful. It's not just winter season, but I that's the vibe that I'm getting from this, right? Like
I'm
let's
also
escape. Let's escape together um, to this cabin. I'm gonna go a ski cabin because
Mhm.
we're just staying on the winter holiday theme here. So like
Is there
if
maybe like a gondola deal in the background?
could be, North Star in Lake Tahoe. Speaking of good locations for this, North Star in Lake Tahoe, the gondola goes from the village all the way up, and you can ski to your room, like literally to the door. So you never
Are you
get in a
serious?
vehicle. Yeah, it's the best. I freaking love North Star in Lake Tahoe. This is not a paid ad, by the way. We
Wow,
spent many years as a kid at North Star
that
Lake
sounds
Tahoe.
so fun.
But yeah, very cool. So I'm thinking like that vibe, right? Okay, so there's our visual. We're going that way, right? So we're
Okay,
talking
here
imagery, we're talking video, we're talking graphics. All of those things will be with this sort of scene feeling in mind, right?
see, I'm thinking it should be like a blanket along for the ride, and then you have like the campfire
Thing you
setting. You have
pack,
like what?
that you
Yes,
pack it into the
yes.
car is the last thing that goes
But then
in.
you
You
take it with you like everywhere you go. Like if you go on a carriage ride, like horse-drawn carriage
mm-hmm.
ride, blanket on your lap,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's a great point too. If you make this campaign sort of multifaceted around like the places this blanket could go, right?
Yes.
The,
Like a
the
flat
that
family
cozy
with a
feeling
blanket.
you're bringing with you, right? Like it is
Yes.
bringing. It's the blanket is representative of this cozy holiday feeling, right?
It also gives like longevity in the
Yeah.
product,
You could
you
you
know?
could break it up too, right? So for social, you have the carriage ride as a clip, you have or as a reel. You have the cozy in the cabin as a reel. You have maybe it's I don't know, drinks on the balcony after a long day of skiing with the blanket, right? You have maybe you're watching, I don't know, maybe they have an ice skating rink at this particular place and they do like a little show on ice kind of thing, right? Maybe the blanket's going with you to enjoy the show. There's like a number of ways you could utilize this blanket, and each one of those become its own reel and sort of a drip campaign to bring this, holiday and like holiday warm cozy feeling combined with Pendleton woolen mills. Like those two
Right.
things become synonymous through this campaign.
So, where's the funding for this? Because I would love
Yeah,
this.
yeah, we'd like to do this campaign actually now. Really getting married to it. Okay, so we've laid out social. I think you've got like the larger campaign clip, right? Maybe this is the hero video on your landing page for holiday blankets. Maybe it's the video you put on YouTube. Maybe it's the commercial you're running on YouTube and television and all those sorts of things where you're showing like this bring the cozy with you campaign, right? Maybe that's your main thing. Then you cut it apart for social. Okay, now we still have email, we still have web, we still have landing pages, we still have, how are we wrapping it around?
Okay, my mind immediately goes to blogging.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you thought I was going to say email, but I'm actually
I was
thinking the
hoping you were going to
blogging.
go blogging.
Okay.
Email, we still have to do email, but
We're still going to touch on email, but I was really thinking blogging because, well, number one, we love to repurpose content. So if you put it in a blog, you can put it in your email too.
mm-hmm.
Um, Also, that just goes for everything. If the creative, like the photo video that you put on socials, that is also going to go on your email so that you
Mm-hmm.
can, um, for lack of better words, you can kill a lot of birds with one stone here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for blogging, I think this is where you do some collaboration work, like further collaboration work, and you can list out like things to do in the area, places to visit, places to eat, but they're all blanket friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So like tuck the blanket in. It's gonna be cold. Here's the weather report. early, it doesn't have to be like full on like weather report, but like,
Generally, it's whatever.
odds are it's going to be a little chilly. Um, I don't know. Yeah, like pack the blanket to, I don't know, like places
Yeah.
your blanket can visit if
Well, like
you
that, I think
yeah.
I've used this example before, but the tour company in Hawaii, right? One of their biggest points of entry, right? Their biggest converting pieces of content they've ever created, ever in the history of like, I don't know, 30, 40 years of this
Hmm.
company being a thing, has been one blog they wrote about the 5 best burgers in Hawaii, and it converts for them. They get tons of tour bookings for this. So, how could you do a similar thing, like you're saying? Like, maybe we talk about, I don't know if there's carriage rides in Leavenworth, but if there's not, there should be, carriage rides in Leavenworth. Um, the ski to your room experienced in North Star. There's Christmas markets everywhere. You could bring it to Rockefeller Center, right? Like
Literally, yeah.
what more classic Christmas location is there than that? Maybe you talk about Leavenworth's a pretty small town, but maybe you talk about some small town that has some very Christmas related thing, right? Getaways basically for that. You could also talk about like, you could have influencers or even your staff write about like their own family traditions and like what did the holidays or around the holidays look like for them, right? And then like include some imagery of like them with Pendleton blankets or whatever, right? So like my family used to go to North Star every year. This was when I was a kid, and we didn't live up here in Oregon, but we used to go to North Star every year, not on Christmas, but around Christmas. And like, I have very fond memories of that. Sun River is a very big spot. People could write about their experiences, and you could have a whole blog series about enjoying the holidays. And that 9 times out of 10 is going to be that nostalgic feeling.
It could be your blog is a place to talk about things adjacent to your brand and like your whatever your CTA is. So like the CTA might be buying a blanket, but you can talk about Christmas traditions, like you said. It could be a cookie recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know, the feeling of opening your favorite gift on Christmas morning. I don't. It can literally be anything that has to do with Thanksgiving or Christmas. I am leaning like kind of towards Christmas just because I think um
I think we decided this
Christmas campaign
specific campaign is Christmas
was for
focused, so
Christmas.
we're just going to stay
Okay.
there.
Okay, I'm good. Okay. I didn't I just think that Christmas campaigns are usually a little bit larger than Thanksgiving campaigns unless Thanksgiving is like you're a food
Yeah,
company
if
or
you're
like a
if
typical
you're
setting or
a turkey farmer, you're probably
right,
talking about Thanksgiving, but
right. But yeah, I think your blog is for um obviously searchability and can bring people in to like show them that they need this blanket through whatever they were searching for.
mm-hmm.
It could be like, Christmas cookie recipe, like I said before, trying to find new family traditions. That's actually a really good one because we said that this was their first Christmas together. So you could talk
Establishing
about
their
like,
own.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I
So,
like that a lot.
for email, I love to use email as like the common denominator between website and social because a lot of times you point to your website, but you get people from social
Mm-hmm.
on, to your email. You also get them from your website. I'm like aware that you subscribe like on landing pages and things, but I just think a lot of times people see your stuff on social, go to your website, and the email is like you marry them in your
Mm-hmm.
email. Um, email, I think that I would do like a little bit of a snippet of one of the blog topics, and then you can link out to other blogs and like other. This is a good time where you can like also show off those partnerships that
Mm-hmm.
you are, that you make with like the ski company or the restaurant or
An influencer, or
yeah, and
yeah.
yeah. Um, but I think that I would do something with the blog, and like pointing them towards, like either booking or buying a blanket, something like whatever your CTA is.
Mm-hmm. Um, I certainly think too, there's probably an influencer activation campaign with this, right? Like, let's
Mm-hmm.
send some blankets to some influencers, allow them to show us how they would spend their cozy holiday season with their blanket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, like, the imagery includes the blanket, but we're not like, here's a blanket,
Right.
so like, let them utilize it how they would use it in their lives, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love to shut off all the lights in my house except for my Christmas tree, right? And maybe there's a
Oh.
candle or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I just want, like, my cozy blanket, number one, can't miss the cozy blanket, a cup of coffee or hot chocolate, and probably like Christmas music or Christmas movies, maybe. But a lot of times I like to avoid the screen, right? So maybe it's Christmas music, that we've got. My husband and I, Kevin and I, just recently rehabbed an old record player my parents had, that had sat for God knows how long, 20
Mm-hmm.
years or something, right? So it's been in the attic and a little rough, but we kind of rehabbed it, right? So I'm looking forward to finding some vinyl records that I can play that is Christmas music vinyl records. And we hooked it up to our modern stereo system, right? So we've got this really great sound system in the house, but I can't wait to, like, there's something about the nostalgia of dropping that vinyl on, right? And like putting the pin on, and the Christmas tree is going to be right next to it. So it's going to be like a great spot to just like enjoy myself. Anyway, an influencer could do something like that, right? Maybe they're going skiing. Maybe they're going to grandma's house for Christmas. Maybe they're whatever, right? Let them pack their way to Christmas, but have the blanket come along with them.
Also thinking like this is getting like kind of real deep in, but maybe I don't know. Growing up in their household, they used this blanket as like the tree skirt, and they had like the presents around it, and the train, you know, cir- uh, what is it? What am I doing? Circling
The little train,
the tree, and then like they, I don't know, maybe that was like first Christmas present, like that's an heirloom, something that you
mm-hmm.
pass down to your son or daughter in this, I don't know, this new couple, and then they take it like to their first Christmas away from family in this ski town, and they get on a train ride. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like a full circle moment of my mom used to put the like use this as our tree skirt for a number of reasons. My mom did that when we were
Mm-hmm.
growing up. Like we'd use like older Christmas sheets and things
Mm-hmm.
as a tree skirt. We also did use
Actual tree
actual
skirts, but
tree skirts, but like my mom did always get like kind of creative with stuff like that. So like I'm just thinking, not that I would
yeah.
ever take meat with me, but like I don't know.
You could do this, like, if you were doing it in commercial, right? You could do this like cut back and forth of like this little girl so excited to, like, or little boy, whichever,
Hmm.
set up the train on it, and like the tree skirt
Hmm.
is in it, and then like them kind of like this flashback situation between them putting it on the Christmas tree. And I think what's so fun about like the first Christmas together, right, is both of you are going to have something to contribute to the Christmas decorations or the traditions or whatever that you've done forever and ever growing up, right?
Right.
So like Kevin's parents gave, or like Kevin had some ornaments that came from his family that became part of our Christmas tree, and we bought ornaments that were kind of like about our own marriage, and like
Hmm.
our own life. But like the tree skirt would be one of those things, right? And tree skirt in this case, blanket.
Hmm.
But like that could be part of it. So like you could have this sort of flashback nostalgia sort of situation, especially Pendleton wool nose blankets. Those suckers last a lifetime.
Those
So
are actual
yeah,
heirlooms.
those are heirlooms for sure.
Yeah. But ugh, okay, well, Pendleton, give us a call.
Okay, so we did social, we did influencer campaign, we did email marketing, we did. I think you have some landing pages. We did blogs, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, all of this comes with CTAs, and you should send them to a landing page that kind of serves them up the things that you're trying to push,
Right.
right? Don't just send them to your homepage,
Right.
but kind of serve them out where you want them to end up. Change that landing page or that shop page so it's
Maybe have
got
it
a
play
hero
Christmas
section
music.
with this imagery, right?
Ooh, you know what? Okay, pending what like the imagery is on the landing page, if it's like the campfire setting, it should play like fire cracking noises.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I don't know, the train, like maybe we have like a low train rumble. I
Mm-hmm.
know you're like nobody likes the
Audio.
like, but okay, you can have it like it doesn't have
Yeah, when
last.
you're videographers, if it's not us, make sure your levels are very low for the hero page video if
Like,
the intent is to utilize the audio.
right. Which I think everyone like yes, we watch a lot of video just based on like the caption. Like we're not always on, like our sound isn't always on. But I do think it could just really add a little bit of the how many senses do we have? Five senses, four, six.
Well, you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can feel. Okay,
I'm just sitting
you
here
can
thinking.
taste. Anyway, yes,
Anyways,
you're
I'm just
playing on
saying.
another sense,
Thank you for that.
which kind of
Not to make myself sound
gets us
stupid,
back
but
to that experiential marketing, right? Like put them there, even if it's not physically putting them there. Like how can you
right,
virtually put them there?
right. Yes,
Yeah,
that.
I like it.
I want to do this.
Yeah, this sounds like fun. Okay, I think that was a great example. Let's do like a rapid fire. What are like 3 quick things you could do for holiday campaigns if you're starting because we made this podcast? If you're starting because you are listening to this podcast in the middle of October, what are 3 things that maybe could
Like
be
low hanging
executed?
fruit.
Yeah, what could be executed between now and Christmas that aren't quite such a wraparound campaign?
Yeah, I think number one, I already mentioned it in this podcast, but if you did something last year and it performed really well, is there something you can do to just minorly tweak it to like use it again
Mm-hmm.
this year? Obviously, if it says like Christmas 2024 on it or something like that, like possibly we edit that out
Yeah,
or
could we update it? Yeah.
but I think if if you did a whole um, photo shoot last year and the photos still are relevant, can you plug them in to your email campaign? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, are there a few things um, that you can just repurpose? If you are going to revamp what you have, if you have nothing right now, I don't know. I have conflicting thoughts on this actually. If you have nothing right now, what platform are you going to dedicate?
Yeah, I mean, I think you better do something on your website, right? Like make a landing page that exists in the space, right? You know what I think the lowest hanging fruit is? I think it's utilizing UGC or influencers to be able to
Because they are
help
already
you generate the content.
okay. Hopefully, you have a UGC and influencer list because if you don't, that would also be a bit of an uphill.
Yeah, that's true. I think you can do like great blogging pretty easy, right? Like I think you can work on that, which then
You
you could
can.
derive your social out of, right?
You can.
Spend like one Saturday if you're a
I think,
small company, right? Spend one Saturday just writing a few blogs. Then use
yeah, do like you
ChatGPT
could
to
do
help you
4 or 5.
out.
Yeah.
Write it first, then
Um,
run it through ChatGPT.
I'm kind of hung up on, I think you need like photo video though.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that, I think you need
That's
to
kind of
figure out a
where I
way
think, like,
to get
okay,
it.
if you don't have an influencer or UGC list that you work with already,
Use your employees.
you have friends and family and employees. In fact, I
Yeah.
think that employee generated content, like EGC, yeah, EGC would be like, I honestly think it's getting more and more important than even just like user generated content, right? Like, I want to know some of the faces behind your brand.
I think we all, yeah, I 1000% agree with that. You know that I agree with you on that because I'm in your Google chat about it all the time. Um, I think also like you can keep it very simple. Like you can keep it like you can keep I don't know like how I want to word
think
this,
you
but like
could do.
you can keep it low key
Yeah.
and still Christmassy. Like you can keep your general flow. Like if you are not someone who um plans out your any campaign to like the tens, you know what I mean? Then you probably don't need to plan out this one campaign. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think you can keep it consistent, authentic to who you are as a company or a product or a service or like whatever. Um, but I think you can add a little bit of like Christmas spirit to it or like Christmas pizzazz. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff you can do like just in your caption work or like in your button work. Like you can just switch out like your CTA buttons. You can like just add little details almost to what you already plan to do to make it
Yeah. One of my favorite
Christmassy.
like little details that companies do are like Dubsado, which is a contracting and project management software company that we work with. When you go to delete something, it'll be like Danger Will Robinson, right? Like I love it when they put these like quirky things in there. So how can you do that but Christmas? Like pretty simple thing to do, right? Like you're saying swap buttons or whatever. Like I don't know, maybe your checkout button no longer says checkout. Maybe it says like get it on Santa's list or
Yeah. Add to Santa's sleigh or
yeah,
something.
add to Santa's sleigh. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Add to stocking
Yeah.
instead of like add to cart.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You could swap some of that stuff out pretty easy. Okay. I hope this episode gave some people some ideas. Pendleton, Woolen Mills, if you feel like doing this campaign, we're a little late for this year, but let's do it next year. But I think it would be a lot of fun to really bring in that nostalgia piece and that sense of experience to any of the different companies, services, products, whatever it is. Bring it into the fold, you know? So, Scout, anything else on this one?
What was your soft launch to this Monday?
Ooh. I was coming home from Pendleton, so I took a
Good
nap.
timing.
Yeah, we're
When
recording
you were
this.
coming home?
We're recording this the week after Pendleton Roundup. So,
As you were flying yourself home, you took a nap.
no, not while I was flying. There is no napping and
Danger.
flying at the same time.
Thank
But,
God.
yeah, once I was home, there was a nap on Sunday. You know.
If people wanted to chat with us about holiday campaigns, how can they get a hold of us?
Info at McFarlandProductions.com or, you know, our work number 541-315-5806.
You need to.
Or if you're subscribed to our emails, you can respond to that too.
You should subscribe to our emails.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I feel like we do give some ideas and things away in there, but
I feel like we should play the pat yourself on the back, girlfriend.
why do we need to play it when we have you?
It sounded just like it, didn't it?
It did. It was exactly it.
Anyways, you can wrap this up. That was fun.
Perfect. Well, I think this comes out mid-October, so happy Halloween, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and all the other holidays in between. And hopefully your holiday campaign is better for it. Thanks for joining.